7 years ago, my wife and I paid off $43,000 of debt in just 13 months. And honestly, becoming debt-free was one of the greatest feelings I've ever experienced. Not because of the number we were able to pay off, but for the first time in our life, our money was not going towards past mistakes and was going towards building our future. We eventually bought our dream home, built our net worth to over $800,000, and put our finances on autopilot. But here's the interesting question. If I woke up tomorrow and I had $43,000 worth of debt again, would I pay it off the exact same? Actually, no, I probably wouldn't. Knowing what I know now, I'd pay it off differently and probably faster. So in this video, what I want to do is walk through the exact 5-step process of what I would do if I woke up tomorrow with $43,000 of debt. The first thing I do, step 1, is get the facts and just stop guessing with what I had with my debt. Most people know that they have debt. Of course they do, but very few know their debt inside and out. And in order to start, I'd get my debt payment calculator. And by the way, all the resources that I share inside this video can be found in my personal finance community. It's called Dollar Discipline University. The link to join that free community is in my homepage on the YouTube channel. But if we go back to the debt payoff calculator here, I would write down the loan type, the current balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment. Just get them all on either a piece of paper or a spreadsheet or a notes app. It doesn't really matter. Just get them all out there. And here's why this matters, because you can't improve what you don't see. So again, if we're just guessing like, oh, I think I have this, I have that, you're not going to make any forward progress because you don't know where the starting line is. So for this example, again, I'm going to say that I have $43,000 of debt. I wake up tomorrow and oh my goodness, $43,000 worth of debt. The minimum payment is $365. Back when I was in debt, I remember the balance feeling enormous. And you just look at the one number like, oh my God, 43,000. What are we doing? How are we going to get out of this? But once everything was sort of written down in a tracker, it made everything much easier because you could just start seeing it and then you could start mapping out a plan one step at a time. Guys, real quick, I've opened up some spots in my Wealthy Parent program for busy families looking to get more clarity in their finances, find extra money each month without making more so that they're able to put more of their hardworking money towards their financial goals and just feel like they're winning with their money. If that sounds interesting, any of that, there's a link below this video to book a call directly with me and we could start your path to becoming a wealthy parent. I'll see you there. The next step is to get your debt-free date. Now, this is where most people get punched in the face, to be very honest with you. After entering all the numbers, I would just calculate my projected debt-free date. It's not your dream date. It's not your hopeful date. It's your actual date if nothing that you do changes. So, and that takes us back into the calculator. So again, up here was the sort of data entry part, okay? And then if you're using this calculator, if you join the community and you're following along, this monthly payment is just going to show how much are you paying on your debt. So we had a $365 minimum payment per month. So if we're good boys and girls, let's just say we're paying the minimum payment. And then down here, this is the exciting part. So we have the calculator portion where we get to see what our debt-free date is based on, again, the information that we have at hand here. So we have the loan types, we have the balances, and then look at this, we have some new columns here. Interest paid, the total number of dollars of interest paid, the number of months it's going to take to pay off each of the loans, and then the date associated with each of those. And as you can see, I wake up tomorrow, I have $43,000 worth of debt, and that's all of a sudden going to take me to 2054. So 28 years based on when I'm recording this video. And I will be paying $81,000 of interest towards all this debt over the life of the loans. That's basically double the actual debt that I had in the first place. So obviously, we want to be able to pay this off as soon as possible. And because there's interest rates involved, everyone loves the idea of compounding interest. When it's working for us, nobody seems to care that compounding interest is also working against us when we have debt. So in the next couple steps here, I'm going to be walking you through why they're so important so that we can pay this down like dramatically. It's honestly insane what's going to happen here when we change this. So make sure to stick around for it because this is going to be something that could absolutely impact how you pay off your debt this year. Step 3 is to build your North Star goals. And this is one step that I honestly wish I understood earlier. This is not really something that we did when we were paying off debt, to be quite honest with you, because Debt payoff can't be the only goal. I mean, sure, it's great. You need to know why you're becoming debt-free though. So for us, the reason why we were becoming debt-free is because we were looking to start a family, and we just looked around in our life. We're like, what are the things that could potentially possibly hold us back from maybe being the best parents that we can be? Not that you're a bad parent if you have debt when you have kids, but you know what I mean. We're just trying to eliminate all of the outside noise and things that could potentially get in the way. So we wanted the options to do whatever we wanted with our money. We wanted the freedom. We wanted our money goals to be going towards us and our family instead of like these debt companies and all these creditors or whatever. So what I would do differently this time is I would actually sit down with a list. This is my North Star Goals list that I have as a resource for people inside the community. And what I would do is I would just write down the things that matter to me the most. These could be life goals, these could be financial goals, these could be non-negotiables, and they could be things happening now in your life or things that you wish to happen in the future. Because every spending decision after this point kind of really gets filtered through this list. And it's a very powerful list that you can, of course, change whenever you need to. My wife and I, over the past few years, we've had a lot of life changes. So we've been using this list. Basically, this isn't our list, by the way, but we've been using this process to figure out, okay, how do we realign our money again? How do we realign our money again? Because that's the goal. Like, we're trying to see what matters to us so that we can just eliminate everything else or reduce everything else so we can put money towards, if you're watching this video, to pay off debt. And if paying off debt is the most important, then things that don't support that goal become much easier to question. Right? And that's the whole point of this list. So here's some things that people that I've worked with have said in the past. Like they've had, health and fitness things that they wanted. Of course, like savings, career advancement, retirement. Yes, even expensive haircuts. It was a non-negotiable for someone on someone's list. That's the whole point of this list, is to write down the things that actually matter to you. And then you shouldn't care what anyone else thinks. It's your list. The next step 4, is to find more money in your finances. Now, I know I'm just kind of saying it. It sounds too easy, sounds too good to be true, but this is where the unlock happens, to be quite honest. And honestly, I think this is when most people think, oh, I just need to make more money. If I simply had more income, I would be able to, 100% of that income would just immediately go towards the problem that I'm having in my finances. And I know for a fact that that's not the case, because as we get more income, if we don't have the right systems in place, the problems and challenges that we have in our finances just compound as well. They escalate with the income. So if our income is going like this, so are our problems and our challenges. It's just how life works. So if we don't have the system set up, we're in trouble. So to kind of combat that here and challenge that, I'd start with a 3-month look back. And this is an example of one of the tabs in the resources that I have in the community. Basically, we're going to be looking at every transaction from the last 90 days, every bank account, credit card, every single dollar. Then I'd compare where my money has been going against where I want it to go. And that's kind of where all of this is starting to come together. So we're going to be looking back, where has my money been going? The North Star goal list is, hey, where do I want to be putting all my resources? And then we meet in the middle. We kind of negotiate with ourselves, right? We give ourselves permission to either spend more in certain categories, spend the same in certain categories, spend less in certain categories, all with the goal of trying to cross off things on our North Star goal list, right? So again, if you're watching this video, one of them, I'm sure, is how do I pay off this debt a lot faster? And honestly, this is the most exciting part. It's where most people get shocked. They're shocked with the amount of money that they're able to find, because they've never actually seen the numbers. They're just guessing. They're assuming that all their money is going to the most efficient places. And I can tell you it's just probably not true, and that's okay if you've never done an exercise like this. But this is where that money's hiding in plain sight. For some people, it's a couple $100. For some people, it could be $500. There's been people $1,000+ a month, if you can believe that, where they were able to realign it, crush their debt, crush their savings goals, put some to their retirement, their kids' education, etc., and they didn't even make any extra money doing it. And they didn't do this by cutting everything. This is not rice and beans. This is not, I don't know, whatever else people say, but like, this isn't that. This is a realignment of the money that you're already making towards things that actually matter to you. So if I go back to my community here just to quickly show you. So these are some people that have been able to find a significant amount of money in a short period of time. Sandy, $1,200 in 6 weeks. Gemma, never saved this much money in 6 weeks. Kahisha found $1,320 in 6 weeks and crushed debt. Kim found $1,060 hiding in her finances in 6 weeks. This stuff actually works, guys, and if you're interested in kind of seeing how that worked for them and the system that we created and everything like that, there's a link below this video to book a call directly with me so that we can start building your own system. On the call, we're just going to simply see where you're at now, where you want to go, and then a custom roadmap in how to get there, to build your system, to find hidden money in your finances so that you can use it towards more valuable things. If you're interested, again, the link is below this video. Now here comes the fun part. This is step 5, and this is creating a new debt-free date based on all the information that we've gone through in this video so far, right? So you've already put in the work, the effort of seeing where your money has been going. That's the 3-month look back. Looking at where you want your money and resources to start going, the North Star goals, and then you've kind of realigned it, you've adjusted it, you found money hiding in your finances, and now we're going to be putting it towards the debt payoff so you can see just how explosive this can be. And of course, we're back in our friend, the debt payment calculator. So just to remind you quickly of the example, $43,000 of debt, $365 in minimum payments, paying it off in 28 years, $81,000 of interest. So what we can do here is let's assume that if we'll be conservative maybe, let's assume that we found an extra $500 a month in our finances. So I'm going to change this to $865. And when I hit enter, what I want you to do is look at how this changes, how the interest paid changes and how the debt-free date changes. So I'm going to hit enter. Whoa, oh my, that's crazy. So the interest paid, I'm going to have to go back because I don't even remember what the numbers were. It's crazy. The interest paid went down like $70,000. Yeah, it was 81 to $8,000 or $9,000. The debt-free date was 2054, and now it's 2031. All because we put an extra $500 a month towards our debt payment calculator. And again, if you're still not a believer, like it's one thing just to, speak through things on a YouTube video and kind of share it, but obviously like there has to be some effort that is put into it. So I do recommend going through the process there of looking back 90 days, doing the 3-month look back, writing down the North Star goals, realigning it, and then seeing how feasible this is. Because this right here, this is where the motivation is to pay off your debt. Like, wow, what would I do with an extra $72,000? What would I do? Not being stressed about debt for an extra 23 years. 23 years. That's long enough for someone to be born, go to college, and like start their next like degree or whatever. Like that's just crazy. So yeah, guys, here's the thing. Like we paid off the $43,000 of debt in the 13 months and it felt like a blur. It felt like we were crushing life. But honestly, looking back, there was not a structured system. There was not like a plan really. It was just like like caveman style, like me pay off debt. Why did I do a robot and caveman? That's the genres are not the same. If I had to start over, I would do that exact process, what we just talked about in this video. And if it's something that you're interested in, like trying to figure out on your own, and you've been doing it for a while, and you're just like, we just keep doing that recycling paycheck to paycheck. We make way too much money to be in a problem like this, and we just can't get out of it. I do recommend checking out the link below this video to speak directly with me, to talk through maybe your biggest pain point of why you think you're stuck, where you're at, right? Where you want to go. And then again, we're going to be building out that custom roadmap if you think that's interesting for you. If you want to get more information on the 6-week challenge, I do have a video here with more information.